Welcome back, Kings fans. I am Jesse Cohen. This is All the Kings Men Live. Joining me as she does every week, Carlin Bathe. How are you doing today, Carlin?
I'm doing well. Jesse, how are you doing? How you doing? I almost said this week. How you doing today and this week, actually?
I'm excited because last week I asked you if you wanted to do the MANSCAPED read, and you said you did. So here it is. Here's your shot.
Yay! Manscaped is an official partner of the LA Kings, and thanks to this revolutionary company, manscaping accidents are a thing of the past. Just get yourself the Manscaped Perfect Package 3.0. Inside, you'll find products like their Lawnmower 3.0, Jesse, which has advanced skin-safe technology, so this trimmer won't cut you. Everything you need to keep trimmed and smelling nice is in the Perfect Package 3.0. And Kings fans, you can get 20% off plus free shipping by using the code KINGSMEN at manscaped.com. That's code KINGSMEN at manscaped.com. Jesse, I'll never do it as good as you do, but dang, I tried.
I respectfully disagree. I think you did it better than I've ever done it. That was great.
No. Oh, thanks for
So we start every show with the Manscaped read, and we start every show with a Would You Rather. Carlin, this week is very simple, but in weeks past, it's been a hypothetical. This time, there is a correct answer, and I will surprise you with it once you've answered. So the question is, cranberry sauce, homemade or canned?
Oh gosh. Okay, I'll play along, but I want you to know I'm not a cranberry sauce lover at all. I think it's gross. I don't think it belongs on anything. I don't know why it only comes out once a year. Are there people that eat cranberry sauce throughout the year? If so, raise your hand and excuse yourself from this conversation. And why? I don't understand it. I don't understand cranberry sauce. So I would say homemade because I would want something fresh because fruit in a can just sounds weird to me to begin with. So that's my weird answer. And I feel like there's some sort of other answer we're looking for here. Jesse, what was the metaphorical point of that question?
Oh, this is not a metaphor at all. This is very literal. I love cranberry sauce, and in my lifetime, I have been accused of enjoying fighting, arguing, I should say, not fisticuffs, but arguing. And I frequently deny it, although in my heart of hearts, I suppose it's true. But this is one fight that I've never understood because the reality is, Carlin, the correct answer is both. And I've never, it's a Thanksgiving table. It's not a prison. It's not a suitcase on a trip to Mars. You can have homemade cranberry sauce and canned cranberry sauce. The Thanksgiving police aren't going to kick the door down and haul off everybody. I like both. So
what
both
do you put it on?
Correct answer. Everything.
Everything? Like you just smear it all over stuff?
I mean, for Thanksgiving, well, no. You have a.
Like, what do you do with it?
The
what
perfect,
do you do with cranberry sauce?
The perfect Thanksgiving fork has a little bit of turkey, a little bit of mashed potatoes, and a little bit of cranberry sauce. It's the perfect trio, except for the one we've got right now, because joining us, Carlin, is the mashed potatoes to our turkey and cranberry sauce, Patrick O'Neill. Patrick, how are you doing today? Oh, you're muted, by the way, Patrick. Sorry, we got to unmute you. Nope, we still can't hear you.
Oh, dang it. We got to unmute the mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Chris, is he muted? Producer Chris?
Bottom of the should be bottom of the screen, little microphone logo.
Yeah, is it on you?
Still can't hear you, Patrick. Sorry.
Let's see. You look good though, Patio. Dang, that sunlight looks good.
That's right.
We got the glasses out. There we go.
There we go.
How about now? Sorry.
Yeah. No worries. Now we can hear you. How are you doing today, Patrick?
I'm doing great. Yeah. Hey, didn't we do that bit on like the cranberry Thanksgiving thing on one of the intermissions?
Yep, and I'll do it every year.
Okay, good.
until I end the conflict between homemade cranberry sauce and canned cranberry sauce. But that does bring us to our next topic, Patrick, and this is another opportunity for me to hopefully end a conflict. Carlin, you don't like cranberry sauce, that's fine. But if I gave you, let me set it up first. Every year, somebody does a what's the best side dish at Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
So, Carlin, I'll ask you what your favorite side dish is first.
It's like the green beans with the crumbly stuff on top.
Okay.
I don't know what it's called, but it's like crunchy onions on top of green beans.
And Patrick,
my mother-in-law is gonna kill me. I don't remember what it's called, but it's really freaking good.
Yeah, I don't know what that's called either. But I would, I like cream corn. I took notes. I knew this question was coming. This is the only research I get to do anymore. Stuffing, yams with marshmallows.
Sure.
I like rolls, biscuits, and cornbread, and you know what I have here written down. You can't see it; my writing's terrible, but I wrote cranberry relish.
There you go.
Oh, is that the same as cranberry sauce, or is there a different mixture with the relish?
I think it's. I definitely prefer the some kind of homemade cranberry sauce relish to the can, where it just kind of like flops out of that can and it's still in that weird shape. I prefer if it's in a bowl. And there's like real cranberries mixed in there. That would be my go-to.
Love that. Jesse,
so what have I told you guys?
Bean casserole. Carry on.
That's it. Yeah, that's fine. What have I told you guys that there actually was a right answer to the question? What's the best Thanksgiving side dish?
I'd be shocked. Yeah.
Oh.
Now, ordinarily, I'd just shrug and say I'm going to leave this up to opinion. By the way, we're doing this because we won't be here next week, so this is our Thanksgiving episode. So you guys are both familiar with the Prices, not the Prices, right? Family Feud. You're familiar with the Family Feud format, right?
Yes.
Sure.
All right. So I'll do a very small, low-grade version of that. Carlin, if you were putting together a Thanksgiving meal, what are the top 3 things that would have to be in it? Absolutely have to be in it.
Turkey, mashed potatoes, and gravy.
Patrick?
Definitely turkey, stuffing. It's going to have to be mashed potatoes.
Okay.
I think mashed potatoes and gravy are together. I don't think
that's why
2 separate things.
That's why mashed potatoes actually is the best Thanksgiving side dish.
Probably.
Oh.
They're so good, we don't even think about them. We take them absolutely for granted. It's like vanilla being the best flavor of ice cream. Nobody would pick vanilla, but the reality is vanilla is a flavor, and it's everywhere, and you add other things to it to make new flavors. Mashed potatoes is the best Thanksgiving side dish.
I like this.
It's also the most popular, Jesse, because going back hundreds of years when these Thanksgiving meals first took place, of course, the main reason to give thanks and to possibly share your table with those in need. Potatoes are the most inexpensive meal that you could provide at a Thanksgiving type dinner. They're the easiest to grow, and I think that's why it became a staple for these meals.
And the perfect food. I mean, there's a million different ways to cook a potato, and I like all of them. We're going to move off of Thanksgiving, though. Patrick, we've got you here. Carlin and you both covered the Angels this past season, and the Kings are looking at, well, we don't know what we're looking at as far as a hockey season. It'll probably be condensed. There'll probably be, an altered schedule. So I'm curious, Patrick, what were the challenges that you faced in the baseball season that just concluded in this, pandemic world?
Similar to unmuting myself, I think. I just logging into Skype. They were asking me to change I log in all of a sudden, so that created a problem. No, I think just not being at the games, not being able to see live baseball, and wearing the mask, for 7 straight hours, and then just taking it off when you're working, and that was hard. But all that aside, it was just good to be working and seeing the crew and, spending that time with people, that have been out of work. And so all in all, those were small little things. It was just unusual to go when we were allowed to go in and watch the Angels play live baseball with no fans in there. And just the way that the game sounded, was really, really different.
How long did it take you to get used to, let's say, a press conference with no press, or
not long?
Okay.
Yeah, not long. I mean, it actually was really, really super convenient, because you're able to log in and hear these press conferences and just sit and listen. You don't actually have to go, and it was actually it was easier.
I was going to say, for everyone at home, explain, how actually kind of easy it was, and you just nailed it right there. You log into your Zoom and you're listening when you can, and they had them recorded and sent off to you too, in case you missed it. It was like in your email box. So
yeah,
it was nice. But
did it ever feel like, once the season's underway and you're getting into the groove of, I guess it wasn't a game every day, but the flow of the season, did it feel I don't even know what the word I'm looking for is. Did it feel like an asterisk type season, or did it just feel like, a season where you have some hiccups and you have to deal with them?
I felt like an asterisk type season,
Yeah.
for sure, when it's just this race to 60 games. And, normally you're just a third of the way, or I guess a little more through a season. And, teams don't even know who they are yet, really, in 60 games. And the Angels had a good September. I thought they were starting to play better baseball. They weren't as good as like the Dodgers. They got whipped up pretty badly by them, losing all 6. Yeah, it was an asterisk type season. I know Dodger fans are psyched to get the World Series, but I don't see how you can ever look back on this season and not think it was anything other than that.
Sorry,
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go. You go.
I insist you go.
I was gonna say, having gone through this season with the Angels and having the Kings season on the horizon here, what are some things that you would like to see happen during the hockey season that maybe we were missing during baseball? Like, having done a pandemic sport once already, what do you think could, I don't know, change or be tweaked about it going into the hockey season? Or what do you hope, at least?
If this is for me? I guess this is for me. It's so hard to know. I mean, this pandemic seems to be getting worse, and I just don't know. I mean, I don't think you can really compare it, because I think they're able to play. They might be able to play the hockey season in some sort of hub cities, and you can realign and you can make changes. So yeah, I definitely think you have to do that. I mean, that's not new, right? We've been reading about that. So I think you have to find a way to play a season differently, a shortened season, and, realignment and hub cities and bubble up,
Bubble up.
we're not that close to everybody getting a vaccine. I think that's the good news, right? At least there seems to be vaccines on the horizon, but it just feels like we are, another 6 months to a year of trying to navigate our way through this awful time.
There's nothing official out yet, but it sounds like there's going to be a Canadian division, 3 U.S. divisions, and games will be played more similar to a baseball season, where you'll get, the Kings and the Ducks playing each other 3 times in a row, for example, rather than, Anaheim on Tuesday, Arizona on Thursday, Vegas on Saturday. Patrick, I'm curious, from a broadcasting perspective, does it make it easier when you have the same opponent 3-4 games in a row? Does it give an extra level of interest, of energy?
I think from a broadcasting standpoint, it would be easier just for preparation, because you're just preparing, all the teams and the players. And normally it's just, you're going from city to city and you got to, read up on the team you're playing. But from a competitive standpoint for the players, it'll probably create a little more rivalry and a little more intensity, and make these guys a little more agitated against the opponent. But, I'm just curious, what about fans? I think that the way we broadcast the baseball season, I think they should implement for hockey, where, we just have one broadcast location, and they produce these games out of trucks and via feeds. And I don't see how you can have fans, even in a limited capacity, for these upcoming, NHL, NBA seasons, until they can really, get a handle on this thing. You're just seeing even the NFL, just teams getting hit, 7 players here. All these teams are getting hit. I just, that's how I would do it. I would just be as safe as possible to protect everybody, and just get through the next 6 months somehow.
Well, hopefully we get through it with another Stanley Cup handed out. We had one, obviously, Tampa up in Edmonton, I should say, and hopefully we get another one, whether it's a 60-game season or something else. Patrick, I know your time is precious today, so we're going to sort of shoot through the other topics I had.
Forget about that.
All right, perfect.
We've got him for hours.
Whatever you need.
Excellent. Well, then,
people listening are thrilled with that, but you don't have to rush me off. I'm good.
All right. Well, we're going to, I sort of teased last week for Halloween, Patrick. Carlin and I listed our top 3 favorite movies to watch for Halloween. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the topic of movies for Thanksgiving. There aren't many. Carlin, I mentioned Planes, Trains, and Automobiles last week. I'm curious, Patrick, if you have a movie that you associate with Thanksgiving.
Well, not having been given this question ahead of time, I have to agree that to me, that's the only one that pops in my mind. That's a movie you can see over and over and over again. If you're flipping around and it pops on, you leave it there. I don't care what time of year it is. It's just a classic, and every single character in it is hysterical, and it's just perfect. It's a perfect movie.
Carlin, I don't imagine you saw it over the last week.
I didn't get to see it over the last week, but I did just Google Thanksgiving movies, and I haven't heard of nearly all of them. A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
You've never heard of the Charlie Brown? Okay, there you go.
No, I've seen that one. That's about it. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is on here. And then it's got things like The Ice Storm, 1997.
Yeah, that is not a
what is
Thanksgiving
that?
movie.
What is
that? Is that with Kevin? Is that Kevin Kline? Who is
I
that?
don't know.
And
Who
Sigourney
is that?
Weaver. Yeah, that is not a family thing.
No, that's a strange movie. That's a very good movie, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, I also Googled Thanksgiving movies, Carlin, and there's a bunch of movies that not a Thanksgiving movie.
Whose list is this? Trading Places, 1983.
Also not a Thanksgiving movie.
No.
Tower Heist.
Not a Thanksgiving.
No.
Well,
what list are you on?
They're no
Town
good
and
list.
Country Magazine.
Yeah.
14 Thanksgiving movies to prep you for the holidays.
There's two Thanksgiving movies that I can think of. One is Trains, Planes, and Automobiles. The other one is called Dutch with Ed O'Neill.
Okay.
And it's great. It's maybe great's a little bit strong, but it's underrated. It's a John Hughes movie. Screenplay by John Hughes, I should say.
So didn't John Hughes direct Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
I think he did. He might have even written it.
Yeah. Wait, has Colin not seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
I don't want to talk about it, Patio.
He hasn't seen it?
No. I know.
I'm not going to harass you or bully you.
Don't spoil it either.
Because you haven't seen it.
Tell me on it.
How lucky you are that you haven't.
So I have something to look forward to.
She gets to see it now.
Yeah,
that's right.
And then you get an opportunity to see that. Has your husband seen it?
He probably has. He's seen stuff like that. It's always the old ones that
stuff like that. It's a classic.
Yeah, come on. It's not an old one.
Both of you are correct. Directed and written by John Hughes.
Probably hasn't seen it.
Probably not.
Else has seen it?
Probably not. Or it's on his big master list of movies he has to see. That Jim Fox will harass him about if he hasn't. But 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. Looks good.
Should all three of us text him and see if he's seen it?
That's old timers.
You can. Yeah.
You
text
youngins.
him and see if you've seen it.
So, Carlin, you should be.
You two have to text him because he doesn't reply to my text.
I was just gonna say. I wasn't gonna say. Jesse, you can text him. He'll talk to you. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say we could have a race. So we could all text him at the same time and see who he gets back to first. But
Carlin, I'm using the phone.
There you. Oh, that's right.
I could do it.
We love you, Alex.
Carlin, you should be thankful for the opportunity to watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles for the first time. But we're going to go ahead now and take this opportunity real quick. We don't have to get too maudlin about it. But what we're thankful for. Carlin, you want to start us off?
Oh, gosh. Thankful for, I guess, my health, being safe, being able to take this time, even though it's weird for everybody all over the world. Just having a safe place to be, and I won't be able to spend it with my family, but we're going to make the best of it. And I'm thankful to have my husband and our new journey of marriage, and my little brother that lives with us too. And we'll have our own little Thanksgiving celebration here and celebrate the best we can. So I'm thankful for all of that in this crazy, hectic, silly, weird heck of a year.
How about you, Patrick?
Thankful that Alex Faust replied to me so quickly.
Really?
Yeah, he has seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I should ask him. I should ask him if he did he like it?
Yeah, impressive.
Everybody likes Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah,
that is impressive.
I'm thankful for my family, my wife, my kids, our health, the fact that we're staying safe in these crazy times. I'm thankful that that I get to spend time with my dad right now. He's not doing well, so it's just his health is just a battle. He's struggling. He has heart failure, and but he fights, and so I'm taking time to like record our conversations, and I don't know what I'll do with them, but maybe I'll, if I'm ever looking for something to do, I'll have this that I can go back to and maybe write some sort of pseudo biography, or like a Tuesdays at Maury, not as good as that, with Maury, not in that respect, but my own point of view. He's had an incredible life, and so the ups and downs, that I could maybe do something creative there. So that, and staying busy, and this is I haven't had like this much free time like ever, like in the last 32 years, really, that I've been grinding and working, and so just trying to find out like what I'm, what's going on with me, mentally, and so it's been an interesting time for sure.
Patrick, I know you've got kids, so I'll say this as the kid of somebody who did something similar to what you're describing. I recently, within the last year or two, discovered that my mom had interviewed her mom and recorded it. And I haven't seen my grandmother she passed away decades ago. But when I was younger, I don't think I would have appreciated it. But now that I'm the age I am now, listening to my grandmother talk about her parents, her grandparents, they grew up in rural Pennsylvania. So, I mean, it was just a completely different world, different life. It was something I'm thankful for that I wouldn't have thought about had you not said that. So obviously thankful for family, and also technology, right? That allows us, I talk to, my my dad lives in South Carolina, my mom lives in Oregon, and I talk to both of them way more than I would if they actually lived in Southern California. And that's thanks to people who come up with stuff like Skype and Zoom and microphones. So thankful for all that. And obviously, of course, thanks to all the fans who tune in and watch us talk about goofy stuff like this. One of those fans is a former season ticket member, Dr. Jeff Abrahams. Such a huge Kings fan that he actually held on to his season tickets after he moved to Seattle. Didn't even live in LA. Held on to the tickets. He is a huge fan of Patrick O'Neill and Carlin Bathe. It's his birthday, so if you guys wanted to just say happy birthday to Dr. Jeff Abrahams for me, that would be a personal favor that I would appreciate.
Aw,
go ahead. Yeah.
Happy birthday to the doc. The doc. Oh, that's so special. You held on to your tickets. That truly shows, how big of a Kings fan you are. You won't let go. You won't let go. That's incredible. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope this is a birthday surrounded with love, friends, family, to the best social distancing abilities that you can do. Eat some cake. It's your day. Happy birthday.
I knew I had one fan out there. Yeah. So happy birthday, Dr. Jeff. What are you doing with your tickets, though? Is he just like stub hubbing these things?
Yeah. I mean, I think this season probably may be the end of the run, but held on to them for a good long time. Patrick, we were planning on letting you go. If you want to stick around, we were about to do a MANSCAPED ad and then take a look at those reverse retro jerseys that got released. You're welcome to stick around, but I won't take it personal if you want to split.
Yeah, are you going to do the MANSCAPED read, or is?
No, it's just a video ad.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, no, I'll just say I love the retro jerseys. I'll let you guys carry on. I got a thing at 12:30. They may be going to be talking about like Bally Sports going forward. So
yeah,
curious to hear what they have to say about that. But thanks so much, you guys, and certainly I just say hi to all the Kings fans out there, and I wish everybody a wonderful Thanksgiving. You too as well. And I miss you guys. It was nice to see Carlin the other day at the Angels press conference. And
yeah,
can't wait to get back to normal. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for doing this, Patrick.
Oh, also Alex, the chat. Oh, go ahead.
Alex Fowl said he thought that Planes, Trains, and Automobiles had its moments, and that he felt it may have ran out of some steam at the end.
Wow.
So I'm sorry to break that to you, Jesse. Try to hang on to that.
Yeah.
Show.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Before you go, there are a lot of people in the chat on Twitch that were giving lots of love and thoughts and prayers to your dad, Patrick. So while you were talking about him, people were sending their love to you and to him.
That.
So just so you know, keep it up.
That's very nice. Yeah, he's at the doctor today, and I'll see him tomorrow. And so I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you, Patio. We love you. We miss you.
Love you guys too. Miss you too. Bye-bye.
It's one all, one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
Huge thanks to Patrick O'Neill for joining us, Carlin. I forgot how much I love Patrick O'Neill. I mean, that's not true. I didn't forget, but I
forget how much I love Patrick.
Yeah, it was really nice to see and hear him again. Last week, I said a lot of things about jerseys and the reverse retro project, and a whole lot of stuff that I am stunned at how much my opinion has changed over the last week. Let's hop into social media roundup, shall we?
So we're going to be taking a look first off here at the LA Kings jerseys that came out, and I mean, Jesse, you liked them. You had some good things to say in the breadcrumb trails that were being left. But now that you've seen the whole thing, what are your thoughts on this? Because it's a thing of beauty. It's just gorgeous. It really kind of nailed the idea of it all, like you were mentioning earlier before we started the show. Just redeem yourself here, because this is something beautiful.
So the biggest takeaway for me from the Kings jersey and from most of the jerseys, and I never would have thought this, but my biggest takeaway is how much having white in a jersey matters to me. And I wouldn't have thought it would. It's sort of like what I was saying earlier about vanilla and mashed potatoes, right? It's the things that you don't ever really think about. But I said it last week about the armbands. And if that logo on the crest there that we're looking at right now had been yellow instead of white, I don't think I would have liked the jerseys.
Right.
But because it is white, and I don't know why that should matter. Yellow to white is not a huge shift. But I saw the mock-ups that were put out there where they had all the different color variations. And I really didn't like it with the yellow crest. It was just too much contrast. But there's something, and I mentioned it last week about the 50th anniversary jerseys having the gold trim, didn't like, but having the white trim, I love them.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I really, really like the Kings jerseys. I just think they look great. I really like them a lot.
It's beautiful. It's so simple. I think the white is what makes it and keeps it simple. You can just see right when you look at it, 3 colors, right? Mm-hmm. And 2 of them are some of the most iconic colors in Kings history, with that forum blue and gold. So it's a really nice, clean looking jersey. And it combines 2 different eras of Kings fans that, are 2 of some of the most beloved eras of Kings fans. Our Kings, design, that chevron logo, and then those 2 colors, they're just iconic, synonymous with the team and with the branding, and the fact that those 2 are together now, it's just like, whoa, yeah, that's pretty freaking sweet. So thumbs up on that reverse retro jersey. There are some other ones that came out, but we'll get to those in a second, because we've got some tweets from some pretty big, a big Kings fan here, Colin Hanks. And he said, "This is quite simply my hockey sweater dream I didn't know was possible come true. Forum blue and gold, Gretzky era chevron, LA Kings jersey. Yes, hell yes." And I think that sentiment was echoed among a lot of Kings fans this week. So in the chat, people are also saying, we've got the best retro jersey. Aperture's calling it a banger. Team Price says she loves the jersey. It's getting a lot of love. I haven't seen anybody say a bad thing about this jersey. Darren Pang also threw out a tweet about how Rogie Vachon he idolized him as a kid. He wanted to be him, to see this sweater, jersey, in parentheses, back in similar fashion makes me smile. Well played, LA Kings, and my friend Luke Robitaille and your staff. Now we need number 32 to don Rogie's old colored mask. Ooh, maybe that's one of the surprises we've got in store that your friend was talking about a few weeks ago, Jesse, our goalie mask painter. Yeah. So I don't know. The response is just amazing, and as it should be. That jersey's beautiful, and I'm glad Kings fans love it. They're in the chat right now also saying he's 1,000,000% correct. Yeah, well, great response all around, really.
It's funny. One of the things I said last week was that I generally don't like alternate jerseys, right? Yeah. And part of that reason is that when you're a fan of a team, for better or for worse, you tie part of your identity to that team, whether it's the colors, the name, the logo, etc. And so I always sort of blanch a little bit when a new jersey is presented. But this entire project, the idea of taking older style jerseys remixed with older colors that your team doesn't use anymore, my first reaction was to sort of go like, oh, this is gonna be kind of hacky and this is gonna be kind of rough.
Yeah.
I wound up loving the entire thing. I mean, there's a couple that I'm not super fond of, but for the most part, I thought they either knocked them out of the park or they came up with a perfectly serviceable jersey that could be used and wouldn't be offensive, wouldn't be an eyesore. I just think it's great. And as other people have pointed out, in a season where revenue might be a little bit short, it's just a great opportunity to raise funds for the game, which is never a bad thing. What are some of those other jerseys we've got to look at?
We're going to start with one of your favorites, Jesse, and that's Colorado's jersey. I'm going to let you just kind of divulge why you love this one so much. It's another beautiful, clean, and simple jersey that just tugs at those nostalgia heartstrings, really.
I mean, everybody, well, I don't know about everybody, but a lot of people love the Quebec Nordiques jerseys, right? Yeah. It's that, whether it's the white or the sky blue, whatever color you want to call it. I love the fleur-de-lis at the hem. I always have. It's just a really simple, you know how every arena has a different design for their red line? Sometimes they have the team logo painted into it. That's the sort of thing that I love about the Quebec Nordiques jersey. Right. Yeah. It's got a hemline, but it's not a line. It's a string of fleur-de-lis. And I love the Avalanche colors. They're sort of understated, but they're also unique. I don't even know what color you call that blue, but it's not blue. I'm sure it's maroon, and I don't know. I don't know what it is. But I like it, and I think that's a gorgeous jersey. And it's little touches like making the captain's C blue instead of maroon. I just really like it. I love the Quebec Nordiques jersey. I love the Avalanche colors. So mixing the two of them, reversing it, I just think that one looks great. And I've seen a lot of people list Colorado and LA in their top 3, top 5, whatever it is. Yes. I have no argument. I mean, they're both great. And I love them both.
Another one that's been near the top, I feel like, is Florida. You love the Florida Panthers jerseys as well. And I think it was producer Chris talking about just the striping and how nice the placement is, and kind of looking at that sleeve there. I like how it comes down to a point, and the colors, there's more colors in this one, but they're still placed in ways that doesn't divert from just the overall block color, clean placement of everything. So I really like this one too. And I like how the bottom ends with the top of the shoulder color, and just, I don't know, it's very clean and nice and not too far away from what people are familiar with down there. So what'd you like about this one, Jesse?
Again, it comes back to just introducing a little bit of white.
Yeah.
I historically have not really loved the Panthers jerseys. I like the current ones more than the historic ones. There's something about that shade of blue and red and gold that has not worked for me in the past, but for some reason I really like these ones. I think they look really sharp. And again, I think it just comes down to having a little bit of white at the hem of the waist and the wrists. I don't know why. I just really like it.
Now, I know you love a little bit of white, but there's a jersey that has a lot of bit of white on it, and you have some mixed feelings about it. Now, before we hear your mixed feelings, hear me out on this, because my philosophy on the Red Wings jersey is if it's not broke, don't fix it. I feel like that is just that team saying, we're so classic, we don't have to do anything nuts. Like, we've had this for so long, what do you want us to do with it? And I kind of like that. That's like an in-your-face statement of like, what do you want from us? We're OG. Like, what do you need? What do you want? So, I don't know. I love it. Yeah, Aperture in the chat is saying, oh my God, it's a practice jersey. So, Jesse.
But they're not wrong. Listen, we did an hour-long episode of All the King's Men, which you can find at lakings.com/podcast or wherever fine podcasts are curated. Just search All the King's Men. And we went through each jersey team by team, and the conclusion that I came away with was you can't grade, or you can do whatever you want. But for me personally, I'm choosing not to grade each jersey based on how I like the specific look, because that really will be subjective, right? There's no point in saying like, well, I like that and I don't like that. So what I tried to do was say, what did a team attempt something, and how, like, what was the degree of difficulty in their long program? And did they nail it or did they miss? So, for example, the Kings swung big, right? They took an old style and a color set that didn't exist with that old style, and they mashed it up, and it came out looking great. Same with the Colorado. Florida didn't get, Florida's attempt wasn't that complicated, but it looks great.
Yeah.
Detroit didn't, as you said, didn't attempt anything. And so it looks fine. It's not that different from a Detroit Red Wings jersey. I'm not going to sit here and say it's an eyesore or that it's ugly. It's just not much of an attempt. And to your point, there were a bunch of teams that haven't changed their logo, haven't changed the style of their uniforms for decades, if not longer. And so there wasn't a ton they could do, but I would have liked it if Detroit had maybe gone for it, and maybe instead of doing a Detroit Red Wings jersey, did what Vegas did, where they went with the Vegas Thunder. They remixed an old Vegas Thunder jersey. Detroit could have tried to bring back the Detroit Vipers jersey, which was their IHL team. I'm not sure if they played in a different league, but I mean, there's a long history of hockey jerseys in Detroit, and if not Detroit, certainly there are in Michigan. I just think the fact that they haven't changed their jersey over the years would have been an opportunity to get really crazy and interesting, and they didn't. So while I don't hate the end product, I'm sad for the missed opportunity to get crazy.
I hear ya. I think it's an epic statement of saying we don't have to.
Right. Well, that's
how I read it. Nah, we don't have
that's
to
interesting.
We don't have to. We're bold.
Yeah.
If you want us to reverse our colors, we will. But we're already retro. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. Something that is cool. That is another sweet spin on some colors and some old logos is the Ducks jersey.
Yeah.
And got this little video that's showcasing the details of everything, and then bam, it's gonna hit you with that front logo.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, like what a throwback! Look at this. Like look at the. I don't even know where to start. Look at the C. Check out this font. Like it's the old school Wild Wing duck guy. Like it's insane. I should have gotten my resident Duck fans opinion on this, but like this is crazy, and it's almost like, how do you hate it? I don't know. It's so crazy. How do you hate it?
So
but
that's
then again,
the most.
we're a Kings show, so it's like.
Well, no, but this is
blow up. So let's go. Let's hear it. But no, it's like, how do you hate it?
This is one of the most surprising things to me about the entire run is that I even said it last week. I was fully prepared to hate this jersey.
Yeah.
Didn't like it in 96 or whatever season it was that they rolled it out in the first place. Think it's completely goofy. There's just very little that I liked about the original jersey, and I wouldn't have thought that just flipping the colors would make the difference for me.
Yeah.
But it does. And not only that, it is what the assignment was.
Yeah.
Right? They took an old jersey that they don't use anymore, and they swapped the colors. They reversed the colors on a retro jersey, and what we're left with is a jersey that I would never wear. Yeah. I would never propose that a team wear them full time as their regular jersey, but given the
point, right? That's the point. Yeah.
Given the context of the assignment, I think it looks really nice. My only gripe is the font, but that's the font they used on the original jersey. So
exactly.
What are you going to do?
Exactly. Yeah. Chat is 50-50 about this right now. There's some are saying too cartoony. Some are saying
let's be clear, it's awful. I just want to be perfectly clear that at some level that jersey is awful, but it's the jersey that existed 24 years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to fault whoever came up with this one because, like I said, that jade, and I can't really tell if it's black or eggplant mixed in with the jade on the jersey, but God, I like it. I don't want to like it, but I actually really do. I'm sort of disappointed in myself, but
it's cool. I don't think ever in our time again will we see a logo that sits that low on a jersey and plays into that bottom stripe of color right there. I don't think we'll see that style and placement of something like that again. I really don't. We've got one more, and it's the Arizona Coyotes jersey, and I love this one. This one and the Calgary Flames are two of my tops, right up there with the Kings, which is number one, obviously. But I love love this purple color, really do. And then I love that there's this desert scape on the bottom. It's got the old, I don't even know, like, what is the name of that old Coyotes logo? Did it have a name?
Kachina.
The Kachina, that's what it is. And Jesse, you, of course, all things go back to The Simpsons. So when you saw this, what did it remind you of with The Simpsons that you had to tweet that you did?
I may have the place of origin wrong on the peppers in the Simpsons episode, but there's an episode of The Simpsons where Homer eats a bunch of Guatemalan insanity peppers. Pretty sure they're Guatemalan. And he winds up having an experience where he wanders through a desert landscape. He encounters a tortoise, a talking coyote, that there he is. The moon turns into this giant talking coyote head. If I'm not mistaken, Johnny Cash does the voice of the coyote, urging Homer to find his soulmate, who at the end of the episode, it turns out, is in fact Marge. Spoiler alert for an episode of The Simpsons from 30 years ago. But anyway, there you go. If we could flip back real quick, producer Chris, to the jersey, and then back to the picture.
By the way, we've got our resident
peppers. All right.
Our Simpsons historian Kat in the chat right now.
Yeah, I should have done the research on that, but I'm just relying on my memory. Anyway, I just saw that and I instantly thought of that episode. Now, this is the jersey that they used again, however many years ago it was. They just flipped the colors on it.
Yep.
But like the Ducks jersey, for me, if you had described that jersey to me just in conversation, I probably would have rolled my eyes and said, yuck, who needs it? This is goofy. But when I'm looking at it, gosh, it's pretty. And like I said, the assignment was to get a retro jersey and reverse the colors, and they did the assignment. I just, like it. I like it.
Oh, freaking good. That purple, that all over purple is just like money. I love it. I love it. It's getting some good comments in the chat right now. Might be their fave. Pinky likes the purple. Nice. Pika wants to buy one of these. People are popping for this right now. And Trina also liked the Calgary jersey as well. So.
To me, again, it goes back to, were they trying something, audacious, or were they just sort of going, doing what the Islanders did? Which is like, here's an Islanders jersey.
Yeah.
And there's a helicopter over me. I apologize if you can't hear me for a second. But I liked it. So that's my takeaway. And I liked the entire. I just thought maybe it's because there's no games to watch. Maybe it's, because of what's going on in the world. But I thought the whole project was fun. Yes. And there were really only a couple that I didn't like. And most of them I thought were pretty great.
It gave us something to look forward to. It pulled on all of our heartstrings in a time where this is just a crazy year, right? So it was a nice little nod to nostalgia. We're all missing hockey. We should be watching hockey right now, and we're not. So the timing of this was great. The fact that it is on the horizon, hockey should be starting in 2021, hopefully January, February, we're not sure, but it was just this nice little bridge between, missing hockey so much, having this nostalgia put in front of us, and then looking forward to what's to come. So bravo on the NHL and all the teams that had their designs and their design dreams fulfilled. And yeah, go get your sweaters, kids. Go get your sweaters. I'm going to get a Kings one soon.
Yeah.
They sell out. Are they going to sell out? Do we know? And then we got one more thing on the social media roundup here. The Kopitar family. Just the cutest ever. Kopi's son drew a picture of their entire family. And then I'm not sure, but I think that's Gustel in the corner.
I was just going to ask, is that a duck or is that Gustel?
I think it's Gustel. And it's
probably.
It's a beautiful Gustel. So Ines had posted this on her Instagram story, and that's just so cute. So stinking cute. So while those jerseys made us happy, we're ending on this post that should also, I hope, make you happy. And shout out to the Kopitar family. We miss ya. Gosh darn it, we miss ya.
Yeah.
That's all I got this week, Jesse.
I love that drawing, and it reminds me, as most things do, of Halloween. A friend of mine, or I should say friends of mine, have 4 children under the age of 6, which is a lot of small children.
That's fun. That sounds fun.
So I was at their house for Halloween, and they had all their jack-o'-lanterns out on front, and my friend asked me, she said, which is your favorite jack-o'-lantern. One was clearly done by an adult, and the other 3 were clearly done by children, and the kids are 6, 4, and 2-year-old. I think the twins are 2. Anyway, and honestly, my favorite were the little kid ones. There's something very cute, as we saw in that drawing, about little kids. They're able to make an image of a person, and you know what it is, but it's also very clearly done by a kid. So very cute. We do miss the Kopitzars. We do miss all the fans. We do miss hockey. But Carlin, with Thanksgiving a week out, we did this already with Patrick, but I'll take another opportunity to do it now. I just want to say I am thankful for you, Carlin, for our after game conversations in the parking lot, for our chats here every week. Thankful to Patrick O'Neill. Patrick has always, I should have said this when he was here, and it skipped my mind. So Patrick, I apologize for not saying it when you could hear me, but always been incredibly gracious and incredibly helpful to me in my career. I was incredibly nervous, incredibly scared, never really felt like I belonged on television, certainly never felt like I belonged in front of Kings fans talking about this sort of stuff. And whether it was my earpiece falling out or not knowing what to say or running out of time, Patrick was always there to help me when I fell. So huge thank you to Patrick O'Neill. And again, Carlin, thank you to you for helping me out whenever I needed it. Big thanks to producer Chris and everybody at the Kings who has given me the opportunity to have this ridiculous job. Really appreciate it. So thanks, everybody. That's really what I wanted to say more than anything.
That was really sweet, Jesse. That was really sweet. Now we have to clip it and send it to Patrick so we know how.
That's right.
I mean, it's true, though. It's true. Just piggybacking on how grateful we are for him. Like our conversation before you had asked him to be on the show was literally 10 minutes of us talking about the things that he's done for us. And it's incredible to have a person like him working in sports. Like you said, whether your earpiece is falling out or, you just want to say the right thing. He's that partner in crime that just makes everything go smoothly, and he realizes the special moments too. And I'll never forget when we were in Philadelphia and he, wanted to make sure we got something in about my father. And at the end of the show, the Kings had lost and he still wanted to toss it down to me and get my thoughts on reporting there for the first time in Philly. So he just knows how meaningful sports are to people, and his job is to, spread that meaningfulness throughout everyone's households. And he does a great job at it, Jesse, and he's a huge help to the two of us, like you said. So extremely thankful for Patrick and him being on the show today. And he's just the best guy. So.
I wasn't going to do this, but now because of what you said, I'm going to do it. And it's going to take a little bit. It's going to take a while, and I apologize. But there's an expression I've always loved, which is it's incredible what you can accomplish when nobody cares who gets credit for it. And I really like that one. And I hope that I never string anybody up trying to claim credit for somebody else's work. But it's an expression I've always really liked. I'm going to go back about 20 years in my personal past, maybe 15 years ago, and I used to do a little bit of local community theater. I never wanted to be an actor. I never really cared about it. In fact, I wouldn't even say I was an actor. I would just say I was bored, and I had a friend in a local Shakespeare company. So I wound up participating. And we had a show one time where a director gave me a line read. And for those who don't know, it's when a director tells you exactly how to say a specific line. Right? They take the choice out of your hands. They say, this is how you say that. You say it exactly the way I'm saying it. And people ran up to me after the director did that. And they said, oh, my God, are you okay? Are you okay? And I said, oh, what's the big deal? And they said, you're never supposed to do that, apparently. I don't know. I'm not an actor, like I said. But all of the actors, it really offended them that person would do that to me. And that always stuck with me. It was something in the back of my mind. Now, the reason I bring all that up is the first year that we did the Star Wars, or the first year that I was on the telecast for the Star Wars game, producer Hoover asked me if I wanted to do something, and I thought about it, and I came up with this very complicated intermission bit for the Star Wars game, and I really wanted to do it, but I had this thing in the back of my mind of don't give people line reads, don't force people to say things exactly the way you wanted to say. So I wrote up a goofy script, and I sent it to our producer, and I said, do you think Patrick would be okay with me basically taking over the entire intermission segment? And having him say exactly what I want him to say, exactly when I want him to say it. And he said, oh, send him an email and let's see. And I sent Patrick an email, and not only was Patrick perfectly fine with it, he showed up early to missed his dinner, found me at Staples Center, and we ran through it. And he totally agreed to do it, and he was totally on board. And he again didn't care who got credit for it, just wanted my goofy idea to work the way I wanted to work it. And he did everything I asked, and I was terrified. I didn't know what I was doing. And he really made me feel comfortable and felt like it was a good idea and did everything he could. Thank you, Patrick. That's again coming back to what I already said. Yeah. I should have said that when he was here, and I'm kicking myself for not doing it.
We'll send it to him.
There we go.
Make him watch it. Like, you have to watch this. Don't text me back till you've watched it, and I'll watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles in the meantime.
Perfect. So big thanks to you, Carlin. Big thanks to Patrick. Huge thanks to producer Chris and everybody behind the scenes of the Kings who makes this possible. And, of course, as always, huge thanks to the fan. Without you guys, none of this happens, whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter. We hope so much that we get to see you at Staples Center sometime soon. That's it for me, Carlin. Anything to say before we go?
That's it. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Wonderful one.